up, everybody?
What's happening, family?
And welcome back to another episode of Is This Gonna Cause an Argument? My name is Angel Lakita Moore, also known as Angel Tanksley, also known as That Chick Angel. That Chick Angel. Okay. I'm also joined by the man who is the love of my life, as Beyonce would also say.
She could.
The other host, my husband of 15 years. Tell him who you are, baby.
I'm Marcus Tanksley, a.k.a. Tank, also known as Marcus on the gram.
Is that all you
like,
saying?
what else we looking for?
you know, usually see Marcus now.
You know what? It is a little confused. Anyway, I'm the other host. This is going to cause an argument. I'm Angel's husband. She's my wife. This is a weekly podcast that we talk about any and everything we got, dang, please, and feel like it. We might talk about you, your parents, our parents, family, whatever we feel like. Politics, Beyonce, you never know. And we are joined by our lovely immediate family. They are the Patreon. You can be a part of them. We talking to them. We watching their comments come up right now. You can be a part of their immediate family by going to patreon.com/thatchickangel.
Hey.
Be a part of that for the low of $5 a month. $5 a month. You
$5.
And we are also joined by our wonderful sponsors. You will hear more about them as we do this show.
Yeah. I'll tell you who they are right now, though.
Yeah. Go on, let us know.
We got Helix, who we use personally every day. BetterHelp, who we advocate for on a regular basis. Ritual, also something that me and my husband partake in every day. And Rothy's, one of my favorite shoe wear. We'll tell you about all of them later on in the podcast, and hopefully if it's a service that you need, you'll give them a try and use our discount code so they know that we sent you there.
Yeah, when you support them, you support us, so make sure you do so.
Yeah, playboy. So today we have a very interesting podcast that I'm so excited to delve into.
So excited.
We'll be starting off with the segment that we so lovely call Taking Sides. This is where Marcus and I will talk about a specific thing that's going on in the zeitgeist, thing that's going on in the world, and we'll take sides. We'll decide who we agree with, who we don't agree with, and we would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. I briefly talked about this on the bonus on Here's the Thing, but I'm so glad that I'm getting to talk about this on Is This Going to Cause an Argument, because we can go in depth with it a little bit more. So I told you about this a little bit before, babe, but we're going to go a little bit more in depth.
All right.
So Khalees, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, Khalees.
For y'all that may not know.
Yeah. Okay. Is beefing with Beyonce and Pharrell. According to Khalees, she never was given heads up that Beyonce will be using her track, Milkshake, in her new album. I don't think it was Milkshake. I actually think it was a different track, but that's what our producer put in here. But I'm almost certain it was a different track.
You get the gist of it.
Yes. She even went as far to call it an act of theft. Ooh. While Khalees may have aimed her initial criticism at Beyonce, her real issue lies with Pharrell, who she accused of lying and tricking her into a bad deal, which left them with all the rights to her music and her empty-handed. Now, everyone knows that I am a proud member, card-holding carrier, okay? I actually am running for vice president this year of the Beehive, okay? But to some people, it looks like Beyonce may have overstepped on this one. Whose side are you on?
Well, because I knew nothing about this. I saw like one little news snippet of Khalees beefing with Beyonce. I didn't even think it was a real thing. So it sounds like they used either the beat or a drum line or something within that song, Milkshake, whatever it was. First and foremost, I take Pharrell's and Beyonce's side on this.
He said, let me just tell you whose side.
Go ahead and tell you, and then I'll tell you why. Because if they used her vocals, something that came out of her or something that she done, I would be like, for one, because she doesn't have the rights, I'd be like, hey, that y'all could have gave this. If she don't have the rights, even if she didn't have the rights, if they were going to use her vocals or something that if she was playing the drums or she was playing the guitar and they used that, I would at least give her a courtesy call, like, hey, by the way, we gonna do this, even though she don't really even need that. but just as a courtesy as an artist. But if this is a song she done with Pharrell, most likely Pharrell made the beat and all she did was come in there and sang on it. So she ain't, for one, don't have the rights to it, but two, that's Pharrell's. He made that. So it's like, I don't even get that. That's like you walking up in somebody's house and being mad that they got the same Kool-Aid that you got. It's like, but you don't own this Kool-Aid. You bought your Kool-Aid. I bought it from, the grocery store, the same one you got. And it just happened to be made by the same person. How you gonna get mad? That's what producers do. They create beats and they sell them to different artists. Sometimes the artist will purchase a beat or whatever and sell it to a different artist. That song by who's it called? Breathe by Fabulous. One and two to two and three. Breathe. Anyway, that song was originally made that for Jay-Z. Pharrell heard it and was like, not Pharrell, Fabulous heard it and was like, I need that. And he ended up taking it, well, not taking it, but they ended up giving it to him. But guess what? That still ain't Pharrell, Fabulous. If the producer, let's say if it was Timbaland or Pharrell or Just Blaze, whoever it is, if that's theirs, they could also use it for somebody else if he ain't got the rights to it. Right. It's whoever holds the rights to it. So I like I said, if they were using her vocals or something of that nature of Khalees's, I could see her having an attitude, but them using a piece of a song that she did with another producer, you really have no room to be mad. Yeah. I could see, like I said, I could see if it was her vocals or something, or if she played the violin and the guitar on that. It's like, hey, man, you could at least gave me a heads up or throw my name in the credits or something. Yeah. But you didn't do nothing. You just can't win in the studio, same as Beyonce went in the studio. If somebody else, if Pharrell uses that for somebody else, Beyonce ain't got nothing to say unless she owns the rights to it.
So
that's me.
I'm going to give my opinion. I'm going to take my side. Shocker, I'm siding with Beyonce. I know you all did not see that coming.
I'm neutral on it as far as the artist, but in this one, I'm siding with Pharrell and Beyonce.
Okay, so I'm going to give y'all another little piece of tea. I'm looking at this Washington Post story. So y'all know Break My Soul has the same, it samples, You Got to Show Me Love. That song from the 90s. But it's all so easy to say. It was a house song, right? By
y'all know this is what my house sounds like.
Yes.
Just random songs and riffs being blurted out of nowhere.
So that song was performed by Robin S. Okay. Robin, like Khalees, owns no rights to that song. It is credited to two men, Alan George and Fred McFarlane. They have the writing credits on Beyonce's new track, which is the Break My Soul. Robin S. is not credited because legally, Robin S. does not have to be credited. Right. Not only that, Robin S. did not know until after Break My Soul came out that her song was going to be sampled. Robin S.'s response was, I'm pleased by the usage. She was like, part of my legacy, and now I'm part of her legacy. So this is what I mean to say. Everybody can have their own reaction. So I'm not saying Khalees doesn't have a right to be mad, because there's a whole lot in this situation to be mad about. She can be mad at the initial thing of being told to sign a contract that was not actually in her favor, especially if she was lied to in the beginning. That is why I'm a huge advocate. The women that I mentor for Mama Likes, when it comes to contracts, I'm like, the biggest part you need to look at is usage and ownership. Make sure you know how long they get to use your stuff, and make sure you own the rights to it afterwards. Because if you don't carefully comb through that or have someone who knows what they're talking about, you could be giving away your stuff you could be giving away your stuff, which you never intended on doing, or you be getting compensated for less than what you should have. So you have that part that's upsetting. And then you are watching someone have all this success off of something that you feel like you made successful first, and you're not mentioned in the conversation, right? So she has a couple of reasons to legitimately feel some type of way. However, at the end of the day, this is a business. This is not a social club where common courtesies are what we lead with. Right. People lead with legalities. People lead with whatever the letter of the law is. I'm not in the music industry, but being in the acting community, it don't matter how many. This is the reason why SAG. This is the reason why SAG is what it is, right? Because if I shoot a movie, right, the movie gets distributed to movie theaters. I have no say on what movie theaters those go into. The studio decides who they're going to distribute to. Then after that, the studio can decide I'm going to put it on HBO Max or some sort of streaming platform. Again, I have no say, right? Then they decide, you know what, we're going to sell it on Amazon Prime. I, again, have no say on this. SAG helps to make sure that I am still paid each time that happens, right? I don't have a say, but because legally in all of my contracts, it says regardless of whether or not I get to decide, you all have to pay me for it. That's how I'm protected. So I think at the end of the day, Khalees's real anger should be just directed to the fact that she signed a contract that now leaves her out of conversations, leads her out of being acknowledged legally. But common courtesies, I just don't. Being in this business for 20 years, I don't know people to do common courtesies. Right. People do what is legally required of them. Ain't no artist to artist bullcrap. They do what's required.
Even common courtesy. She don't even deserve that from a drum line. Like, you did not predict. This is my question, because I've heard this song on commercials. I've heard it on movies and everything. How many times has she not been credited for this song? And why all of a sudden is it an issue at this point?
Yeah.
People have used the actual song, not even a piece of it. My milk drink brings all the boy to the. I've heard it's on a commercial, right? It was on a Fanta commercial or something. Like, you wasn't credited for none of that, and your entire song was used,
right?
And you mad because of a drum line that somebody else made,
right?
You put it that was in a song that you sung on,
right?
Like, even like, in my opinion, something like that, because for one, because like you said, because of contracts. But two, because you didn't actually create anything involving in that drum or anything. You just sung on it. No credit or courtesy is needed at all.
Yeah.
It's like, even if it was me and it was somebody who I even admire, if they say, oh yeah, we use this in a Jay-Z's song, this and that, but we just using this. Oh, okay. I wouldn't know him nothing.
Right.
Who owns it? Oh, I own it. All right, let's use it.
Yeah.
If it was like what what's his name Cassidy did, used his actual voice. Okay, that's
if they use
something.
Khalees's, if she used Khalees's voice, I'd be 100% on Khalees's side. I'd be like, now come on, now you could have just said thank you. It's her voice,
but you ain't use her nothing of hers that she actually came out of her or something that she brought to the table. She didn't. That was just her voice.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So
that's our side. We're both siding with the bigger stars in this, not because they're bigger stars, but because I think sincerely, because I've been in this business long enough and I have learned, I'm like, you could be mad all day, and I'm not saying you can't be, but at the end of the day, you got to know what you're signing, because if not, people gonna do whatever they have to do, not what you just want them to do. That's period. Well, let me tell you what should shock you and stop you from everything is a Helix mattress, okay? Because they know how to shock you into sleep. That's how good these mattresses feel. You're going to be like, I wasn't sleepy until I laid down, and I'm going to go night-night. Helix sleep mattresses are actually the mattress that me and Marcus sleep on, and our son, little Marcus, sleeps on. They are high-quality mattresses that are, it feels like they're custom-made to you. You know why? Because in less than 2 minutes, or just about 2 minutes, you can take a sleep quiz, and Helix Sleep will match your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. So why would you buy a mattress made for somebody else? That's just silly. You the one that's going to be sleeping in it. Helix is like, come on, let's get something for your body. Adi. Everyone's unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different models to choose from. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses that cool you down if you sleep hot, like myself. Also, one's great for spinal alignment, for this guy over here, to prevent morning aches and pains. And plus, Helix has a Helix Plus mattress for plus size sleepers. So for anybody who's a little extra thick or extra tall, Helix has got something for you, right? So with the Helix sleep quiz, we were able to put in, I am a side sleeper. Marcus somehow ends up on his belly all the time. And we both like medium when it comes to the firmness of our mattress. So we were able to get the Midnight Luxe Helix mattress to fit our sleeping styles. So if you're looking for a good mattress, you should take the quiz and order the mattress that you're matched to, and it's shipped right to your door for free. You never have to go to a mattress store again. Also, it has a 10-year warranty, and you get 100 nights to try it risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you're going to love it because these mattresses are fire. There's also finance options and flexible payment plans, so you can get a good night's sleep. All right? But you don't have to take our word for it. They were named or awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick in 2020 by GQ and Wireless Magazine. And it is the leading mattress, or it is the most been recommended by leading chiropractors and sleep doctors or doctors of sleep medicine. So Helix is offering $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/argue. One more time. Okay. Helix is offering up to $200 of all mattress orders, and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/argue. All right. You won't break my soul. Our next segment.
I hate it.
Is In My Feelings. Perfect.
Let me tell you what's got me in my feelings.
I got something making me feel good.
This is a segment where Marcus and I talk about what's got us feeling great and what's got us feeling some type of way. So, babe, why don't you kick it off? You can go in whichever direction you want to go in.
Let me see. What's got me feeling some type of way? It's mixed. Got me feeling great and feeling some type of way. I'll start with the great part. Is how much my wife has been working.
I already knew what it was. The fact that it's got you feeling some type of way made me just.
No, it's great because this is like something that, like she pointed out, I didn't realize it until you pointed it out, and it had me feeling great too. Is we have both been working towards your dream of working in this industry a lot. I will blindly put in my effort and help wherever I can because I don't see it as, well, let me do this so she can do that. It's like, no, this is something she wants to do, so we are going to make that happen. But she pointed that out and made me realize, like, no, this is something I've been working toward too. The only part is that I don't like is she travels. The past few jobs that she's got and coming up is she's gone. And I'm like, really? Are you serious?
That's what he said.
Like, I booked the show. It's in Alaska. Like, she ain't booked in Alaska, but that's got me feeling like both. So I feel great that this is something that we, like you said, had me realize too that we have been both working toward this, and it's been very frequent lately, which is absolutely great. But yeah, the part of being away from each other is like, okay, here we go again.
Yeah.
Not here we go again, but it's just like, I don't like my family being separated. Like, even after a while, it might take months, but even being away from the kids, like, I always feel like, when are we going to be back around these fools? So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Okay, what's got me feeling good is that, yes, I'm working a lot more. Whoo, Jesus. It's hot in this room. I am working a lot more lately, and it's a blessing. I did tell Marcus, I remember that Melissa Fredericks had actually said in a post, she was like, if you're married to a dreamer, their wins are your wins. She was like, you have been there along the way. You have been there supporting them during their dreams. And I was like, you know what? She's right. And Marcus, even moving out to LA, granted, Marcus is now out here in LA for his own benefit as well, but the initial move, it was all because of my dream. And I definitely recognized that Marcus would have been completely content, not now, but the Marcus that I started dating and then eventually got engaged to would have been happy to have stayed in Kentucky and built his life there. But out of his love for me and understanding that the dream that I had in me did not exist in Kentucky, he made that sacrifice to help me fulfill that. So it's always being the dreamer. I do think you feel a little bit of the pressure of, okay, this has got to work out because this person is now pushing in their chips with my chips. And so I'm glad to see that, like, my bet on myself and his bet on myself was not in vain. It already wasn't in vain, like I said, because we're, able to see Marcus flourish and grow into his own as well. And I think a lot of that has to do with him being out here. But the initial investment, I feel like that ROI is turning out real good.
Yeah, even back then, making like that sacrifice of moving, like I didn't even recognize it as like, hey, I'm doing this sacrifice, moving out here for her so she could live out her dreams. It was like, I'm working towards success. This is just a different obstacle that I'm using to work towards success. Yeah. If she were to move back, I would be still working towards success in that and supporting her however I needed to. And that was just part of the part of the obstacle of getting to that, that moving target that, because success to me is always a moving target. It's never did it. I mean, once I get to a certain point, I'm going to see the next thing and push that to the side. Yeah. So it was never a lot. And I think that's probably one of the things that helped us because it could have easily, especially those valleys that we would hit, it could have easily like, well, if I was back in Kentucky, right? I never looked at it that way.
He never hit me with that. He never hit me with a, see, we struggling like this because we out here. That was never.
It was always like daunting going back home and seeing, like knowing how much everything costs back home and then knowing what we paying for. But that was just like, dang, but we making this happen. Yeah, that's what it always was. It was always like we always had the payment in hand to pay whatever we needed to pay. Yeah. And that's the one thing that, helped us out, pushed us along. It's like, well, that's what it is. Well, it's going to come from somewhere.
Right. What's got you feeling some type? Oh.
That was both mine.
Oh. He know how to make me. I be feeling terrible when I leave. I mean, terrible.
I don't be wanting to feel terrible, but I can't have my feelings.
Yeah, I don't want you to. I do not want you to. I mean, I probably would feel some type of way if you were like, it's fine.
All right,
they need you.
Deuces.
No, they need you for a month. Why not 2? They should keep you for 2 months.
You'd be like, so why you want me gone?
No, nigga, I'd be back so fast. You have no idea.
Turn the job down.
Exactly. I surely would. I would still go for a week just to get him psyched out and for me to get away. And then I'd be like,
like, God dang it. Why you mad I'm back? Nah, I'm just saying. I was already mentally prepared for you to be gone. You're messing with my psyche.
No. But I will say what's got me feeling some type of way is, it just left me. I just had it. Oh, the summer's about to be over. Yeah, we're about to be back to these goddamn school schedules.
That's the bad part. I was going to say, so it's going to feel like summer for about 2, 3, 4 months out here.
No, it's the schedule. I'm not talking about the season of summer. I'm talking about the
schedule is ass.
We were sitting here trying to figure out what the drop-off schedule, how we're going to do it. And I'm trying to save my poor oldest son from having to wake up at the butt crack of dawn. But my husband's like, that's one less drop-off if we wake him up early. And I'm like, I don't want to do it to him. But I guess it would only be for 1 more year if we are able to get all the kids into the same school. So he'll be all right.
He better help his brothers.
Right, exactly.
Get where I'm at, so I ain't gotta do this.
I mean, I'm excited to do the back to school shopping and stuff. That always gets me jazzed. But this early drop off schedule, and then the hustle and bustle of like, okay, it's time to pick up everybody, and we have the boys in Kumon, but I really want them to be able to be in some sort of physical activity. But then you think about, oh Jesus, so that's just another thing on the schedule. It feels like we don't get
That's
home.
the thing. It's I don't understand where people find the time to do, because by the time they get out of school and we get them, if any practice that they're gonna do is gonna be at least an hour, but we still got to get to practice. So by the time they out of that, it's already like 7, 8 o'clock.
No, we used to do it with little Marcus, no problem, because we were closer to the bus stop.
Yeah, we lived near the bus stop. Practice was near the house.
Everything made it. It's all about that proximity. That's the reason why I can't wait till they're all at the same school, because then we can actually do those things. I know. It's one drop off and one pickup.
Man,
I am excited for that day. I'm about to prepare these twins like nobody's business to get to this goddamn school. And then we're going to throw Amari in there too.
They need to be doing their
Kumon.
Go ahead.
So the summer about to be over has definitely got me feeling some type of way. And I am just like, am I even ready for this, God? But it is what it is. We here now. I'm like, can we have like 3 more weeks, 4 more weeks? And then we also going to deal with the fact that the kids, this is the first time that they're going to be on a different schedule, because little Marcus is in private and the twins are in public. So spring breaks will be different. Winter break will be different. It'll be different. It'll all make me feel like I'm going just crazy. But now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Okay, so I take care of my mind in a couple of different ways. One is, excuse me. One is I try to do things that actually put me in a great mood, that get my mind out of the angst of worrying about things, the angst of trying to figure out things. I try to do things that like actually put me in a great mood. My self-care Thursdays, where I make sure I sit in a bubble bath. I do a little facial. These are things that I enjoy that I don't have to think too hard about. Also, my biggest one is I have a therapist that I see weekly. Now, think about it this way. If you had a car that you had to drive for the rest of your life, you couldn't get any new car. This is the only car you're going to have. Mm-hmm. You would take pristine care of that car. You would make sure that car never missed maintenance. You would make sure you weren't driving it too hard. You would be like, I got to take care of you. Well, you got to kind of think of your brain as the same way, right? So you got to treat it the same way. How we care for our minds affects how we experience life. So it's important to invest time and care into keeping them healthy. There are plenty ways to support a healthy brain, like learning a new language, taking power naps, but there's also BetterHelp online therapy. I love working with my therapist, because when you talk about the things in life that either start cluttering up in my brain or the things that I keep putting off because I don't feel like I have the mental capacity to actually deal with it, I, with her, am able to get those thoughts organized and tackle those things that I'm putting off because I'm like, oh God, Angel, it's too much. Don't think about it. There's been so many things that I have been able to actually knock off my list that were taking up time in my brain, that were just weighing me down, that literally after talking it through with her, getting my therapist's guidance on it, I've been able to take action on, and then those things are no longer clouding up my brain. It feels so good to not have something ruminate on something that literally can be handled and can be taken care of. So it's just like if you were in a car and you had a trunk full of bricks, it's like getting those bricks so you're not putting all that weight on your shocks for a long period of time. That's what it feels like working with my therapist. And that's why we feel like everyone should try therapy. And BetterHelp is a great option for therapy for several reasons. One, it's online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat therapy sessions. So if you're like feeling like, this is a lot, I've never done this, you don't even have to be on camera with your therapist if you don't want to. It's way more affordable than in-person therapy. In-person therapy can be expensive as all get out. There's some people charging very high prices, especially those that don't take insurance. Well, BetterHelp even has financial aid possible. So like, therapy is for everyone, and BetterHelp is trying to make it so that is the case. And you can be matched with a therapist for under 48 hours. You don't have to wait for 3 months for somebody to have an open spot. BetterHelp Therapy is able to find you someone that can help you take care of your brain ASAP. So, our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/argue.
Argue.
That's betterhelp.com/argue.
Argue.
We also have another sponsor I want to talk about before we move back to the episode, and that is Ritual. So you done took care of your brain. Now it's time to take care of the rest of your body, okay? And Ritual is here to do that. Ritual is how can I describe it? It's a multivitamin, and they have it formulated for men, women, 18 plus, and they also have it for teens as well. So I don't know if y'all knew this, but 97% of women ages 19 through 50 aren't getting enough vitamin D from their diets, and 95% aren't getting the recommended daily intake of omega-3s. Well, it's been shown in a study that in 12 weeks, women taking the Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin from Ritual increased their vitamin D levels by 43% and their omega-3 DHA levels by 41%. The clinical study was published in a leading scientific journal, Frontiers in Nutrition, if you want to check that out. They are an amazing multivitamin that is so good for your body by filling in all these nutritional gaps, okay? So it helps support brain health, bone health, blood health, and provide antioxidant support. In their delayed release Symbiotic Plus capsules help support your gut, okay, with quality and traceability that you would expect from Ritual. That is the vitamin both me and my husband take. We have a little vitamin drawer in our kitchen, so we're able to pop them things in at the top of the day, honey. And they also have probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics in Ritual. Okay, I love them. I feel like I would say they're the best multivitamin that we've ever had. And I like that you can see through the capsule. You can see what you're actually taking. You're not taking a bunch of crap. Your body actually knows what the heck is going in it, so it can use it better. So right now, Ritual is offering our listeners 10% off their first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/argue and turn healthy habits into a ritual. That's 10% off at ritual.com/argue.
Argue.
What were we talking about before these ads? It was so many in our feelings. We just finished.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. All right, here we go to the main topic. If y'all didn't know this, Marcus and I shot 2 podcasts back to back. So my brain just said, burr, 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 and it's hot in this room.
It's hard to focus. Like, if you watched last week, which was literally right before we watched this one, I was a little confused. It was hard. It's hard to focus when it's this hot and you got things to remember.
It's hot.
I had to switch out pillows behind me.
And y'all, I'm looking at this half a toenail that I got. My big toenails are just going through. That's neither here nor there. Here we go. There's a trend going around on social media where people are describing times when they experience a crack in the matrix. So let's get into the unexplainable action. Marcus, have you ever experienced something that defied explanation? I can give you one while you thinking of one.
Go ahead and give me one.
Okay, crack in the matrix. I'm going to tell you what right now. Crack in the matrix happens all the time in church. All the time. That's the reason why I believe in Jesus, because I be seeing the cracks in the matrix and I'll be like, now how did that happen? I will never forget it. This is one of our first times going to a charismatic church, right? So this is where they speak in tongues and they do healing. That's not something they do in the Baptist churches that I grew up in. We sing some hymnals. Some people might shout and pass out, but that's the gist of it. It's not and then some preaching.
Yeah, you done seen Ann Bethel pass out 5 or 6 times, so it ain't nothing
people
new.
Teeth, dentures falling out, wigs falling off. We are at this one church, right? It was called I can't remember. It was in Louisville, Kentucky. White church, white charismatic church. So this is like these churches that you see on TBN, where the pastor talks like this. We just love Jesus. We want you to come up here and get prayer. We've got the oil healing.
Put your head against my hand.
Yes.
And feel the power.
And feel the power. Evangel, I think was the name of the church. Evangel. My sister Melissa had a cyst on her wrist underneath the skin. It was a big bubble. Like, it was almost like a big ball of cartilage, right? But it was kind of squishy. Big old cyst that they were going to have to remove via surgery. And so my mom was like, go ahead and go up there for prayer, because they like, we make the blind man see, the lame man walk. So I was like, well, we can see if they get rid of this cyst. Let's see. My sister went up there for prayer. She came back. The cyst was gone. This is a visible cyst you can see with your eyes, not with a microscope, not with you got to feel for it. A literal ball, probably the size of the circumference was the size of a nickel. So that's not small for a wrist of a teenager.
Yeah, no, that's big.
In the bump, it was raised up probably like a centimeter, maybe 2. So like, seriously, like you got something on your wrist. It's not something. She literally, when she came back and that thing was gone, she was even like, it's gone. And I was looking at her wrist like, oh my God, it's gone.
I rebuke thee, devil. No, that's not what happened.
I remember this to this day. I was just like, I was in elementary school at the time. Like, that's like, if nothing else solidified, me and Jesus go together. There, more than that moment, I was like, oh, okay, so this dude is real, for real. I already believed in him, but like, he's like straight up still here, roaming around on earth. We just can't see him. That was like one of the biggest cracks in the matrix that I can currently think of right now is that.
I've had like supernatural stuff. Would that be considered?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I this was one. I was the summertime out of school. I used to stay at my granny's house. I'd sleep on the couch, and this is it was always like wasn't no central air in the house. It was like the window units. But you know, granny, I'm old school. They turn all that off during the day. I mean, at night when you sleep. So I just have the windows up. You get that country crickets and stuff out. You know, it's loud outside, but it's relaxing. Yeah. And I always had the ceiling fan going. And I remember one night I woke up and, you know, like look at a lava lamp. It was like that, but it was black. Like the oil was like a floating ball at the feet, like coming around to the side. Yeah. Of me, like laying on the couch. And I remember waking up and I'm looking at it and I'm like, clearly I'm still asleep. Like this is a dream. So I like try to go back to sleep. I'm like, I can't even go back to sleep. And I'm looking at this thing, and it's like you can see like it's a ball, and the oil is dripping from it, and then coming back up to it. Almost
this
like
is floating around the room.
Floating around in the room, and it's probably like the size of like a small basketball. Like not like an actual basketball, but like the kind you get together, like the basketball team on it. It's like the size of one of them. And I'm sitting there watching this, like wide awake, because now I know I'm awake, because I'm like, it's like I wasn't scared, but I wasn't not scared. And I'm sitting there watching this thing, and like I'm like try to go back to sleep, and I like, you know, even turn away from it. Then I turn back, and I remember moving the sheets, and it's still there. And it's so dark, like it's dark outside. There's a light like in the driveway, but the house is still really dark, and it's blacker than the dark in the room. It's like no light is escaping this thing. Wow. And it's just sitting, and I'm sitting there watching it like, what is this thing? So, like I said, I was scared enough not to try to go up and touch it. Oh, I wasn't not scared enough
to supposed to touch it.
Not lose my mind. I wasn't not scared enough to not lose my mind. But I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't know what to do right now. So finally, I just keep laying there, and every time I try to go back to sleep or I look back, it's still there. Finally, I like forced myself to go back to sleep, and I went back to sleep. And I remember waking up like right before the sun came up and looking around the room, and I didn't see it. But it was just like kind of hovering, floating beside me as I'm laying on the couch, and I'm like, this is a dream. I just keep telling myself this is a dream, but I remember it's like this wasn't no goddamn dream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I remember seeing that. So yeah, I guess you could call it crack in the matrix.
Here's another crack in the matrix that we call it crack in the matrix, spiritual gift. I don't know. Like it's almost like, you know how the Matrix, like it's all computer programming. They would program things to exist.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a programmer. So I'll give you 3 very solid examples. Now, the only reason why I'll be like, okay, but does it really work is because it doesn't always work. But it's worked. 3 examples that have stuck in my mind strong enough. Raffles, right?
Uh-huh.
When there's a way to win something. If I really want something, if I really want to win in the raffle, I'll say to the people around me, watch, they're about to call my number, right? So I remember one time I was at a Disney event with a whole bunch of mom influencers in Disneyland, and they were giving a Dooney, what is it, Dooney and Burke?
Yeah.
Dooney and Burke Disney edition purse away.
Jennifer, welcome.
Yes, I know. I sent her a little message. That's one of our new Patreon, or she might not be a new Patreon member, but new to the live of the podcast. So it was a Dooney and Burke purse. And so I'm sitting at a table with these women, and I was like, oh, that purse is nice. I said, watch, they're going to call my number for me to take the purse. And they were like, look at you with your confidence. I was like, okay. I was like, watch. Sure enough, they call my number. The women at the table were like, oh, my God. And I was like, it is what it is. And so I went and got the purse. Same thing happened at another event. It was Meg Scoop. It was her baby shower. I don't even know what they were giving away. But I tapped the person beside me, and I was like, watch this. I was like, they're about to pull my thing. And they did. She looked at me. She said, how'd you do it? I said, I told you. Walked up and went. And I'm really like, I am believing it as I'm saying it, but like, I don't know if it's going to actually work. Last time I can definitively remember was this past Mother's Day. I was at a Mother's Day tea for the Mocha Moms, right? Mm-hmm. And they did a raffle for a bunch of stuff. It was probably like 10 different things. And we're going through the stuff, and they hadn't called my number, right? And people were just like, I said, I know why my number hasn't been called yet. It's for one of these better prizes because I don't need.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
I was like, I don't need this jewelry. And it's got to be for one of the better prizes. So it was a NutriBullet, a new one that it came in. I was like, it's got to be for one of these good ones. Sure enough, the NutriBullet comes up. They call my thing. They were like, Angel. I was like, I told you. I was like, I don't need no more jewelry. I got enough jewelry. I don't need some of this other stuff that y'all done got. It was like bottles of wine. I've got enough wine. I don't got no NutriBullet. That's what I don't have. That's what I want. So sometimes it feels like a crack in the matrix when those things happen, because I'm just like, my confidence, it's like I'm really confident that these things are about to happen. Mm-hmm. I tried to do that with the Mega Millions this weekend, but I actually don't know. We might have actually won some money. I didn't know all the ways that you could play.
Yeah, that's just why I don't be playing no goddamn lottery.
So I still have to check. I got to tell y'all about that in a second. But first, I'm going to tell you about a way to walk through the matrix, and that's with Rothy's. Yes, that's how I'm walking through these airports. I can tell you that right now. Rothy's shoes are so cute. I do get compliments on my little cheetah slip-ons. They are my favorite. I wear them like crazy. I'm mad because I did actually wear them when we were in Turks and Caicos when we went four-wheeling, because I didn't bring any other type of sneaker because I wanted something comfortable and flat, but I didn't want to deal with laces and stuff like that. So I brought my Rothy's, and they got dirty. But who cares? Because I could put them in the washing machine, honey, and get them washed, because Rothy's is durable. They are made from recycled plastic as well. So you already know they've actually repurposed 125 million water bottles so far. These people are really like, come on, sustainability, reducing carbon footprint. This is what we're here to do. So they are the perfect shoe for commuting, traveling, and everyone will notice. You know how sometimes people got like travel shoes that don't hurt their feet, but they be ugly. You just like, oh, you just trying to get from point A to point B. Rothy's is like, you ain't got to be out here with your feet looking a mess. You can still be cute and comfortable. They're known for their chic, pointed toe flats, but that's just the beginning. They have tons of iconic head-turning designs in bright but sophisticated colors. They work great with every outfit. You can wear them with a pair of yoga pants or dress them up with for a night out. And actually, that is what I love the most about those shoes. So like I said, I did wear them when we went four-wheeling because I had on a pair of black shorts and a yellow shirt, and it went perfectly. But I could also wear them with a cute denim dress and not feel like I'm over here looking like somebody's soccer mom that's just waiting to give out snacks at a soccer field. I still look really cute, and the outfit is still elevated. Plus, Rothy's works great. I already said that. Sorry. Now, style-wise, I'm able to match them up or down, as I also said, but that's not the part that I love the most about them, is that they're comfortable. This is the reason why I travel with them a lot, because sometimes it feels like where they have parked your plane is a mile or 2 miles away from where your luggage is. So you don't want to be up in there with your toes and your corns burning. Rothy's always makes it feel like God is shaking your foot. He's just holding it. He's got your whole foot in his hands. That's Rothy's. Listen, y'all can have that as the jingle. Y'all ain't even got to pay me for it. And also they're washable. So their style, the comfort, and the washability make them one of the best shoes you could ever get. Okay? So your favorite new shoes are waiting. Discover the versatile styles you can wear absolutely anywhere and get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/argue. That's ROTHYS.com/argue for $20 off your first order. I'm just going to tell y'all this real quick. Me and 6 of my friends purchased $350 worth of Mega Million tickets. Unfortunately, none of us were the woman in Illinois. But then my sister had to break down, you don't have to match all of them to win. Yeah. You just have to match some of them to win some money. So I haven't checked to see if we match the some of them.
Y'all probably owe money.
No. But listen, if we won $1 million, because I was really like, y'all, we about to win this money. What we about to do? Because if we would have cashed out, it would have been over $700 million if we cashed out immediately. What would you have done if I would have been like, Marcus, look?
Honestly, first thought I would have been like, how do we keep this from going public?
Is California one of those states where they have to report your name immediately?
You have to. I think I think you have to report it. I don't know.
I know my sister was saying that, like, I think in Kentucky you have a certain amount of time to come in, and then they change your number. They scrub your address from the internet there. Like, they make sure all your
dope.
Yeah. And I'm
I've heard of people like going, like, there was one dude, he used to gamble like crazy. He broke it down like, no, first thing you do is go get an attorney. And he's out here though. He broke all these steps down to make sure. And he said you put it in some kind of trust to where the trust is public, but you're not. The way he broke it down. I was like, have you won before? He said, not enough to do that, but when I do, that's what I'm going to do. Because he's one of the people that go casino every week.
I know my mother would have been like, her faith is finally actualized.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been like, you right, mama. I'm going to put this on you. You the reason why we got this.
I got another one is, I was saying, people going to think I'd be like sleeping. This stuff ain't real. I remember I woke up, I was about to get out of bed. This is when I had me and Pete, we had bunk beds. So I was young, but I remember this like it was yesterday. Sun was up, I woke up, I was about to get out of bed, and it was like 3 angels kneeling. I was on the top bunk, but they were kneeling beside, like, one was at the foot and 2 was on the side, like praying. And like they didn't look like the typical like angel, like almost like a like the uniform like a nun would wear. They were like that, but they were solid white. Like their outfit was white. They were like that, like paper white, like
paper white,
white
yeah,
people, like a I don't
without
know.
color.
Yeah, without color, like white without color. And it was 3 of them, and I was about to get out of bed, and I was like, "What is going on?" And I remember sitting there, and they were like just kind of like softly like hovering, just in the like praying position. And I was like, okay, so I was getting out of bed and they slowly just dissipated.
How come none of these things ever scare you?
I don't know. That lets me know that it ain't nothing to be scared about. Because think about it right now, I should have swung. But in the moment.
Right. That's probably why they go away so calmly. Because if you got angry, they'd be like,
the face turned to skulls and start screaming at me.
Oh, my God. Your heart would just explode.
Oh, yeah. I just go on, take me, Lord. I'll be the one in draws. I was in bed and these things yelled at me.
Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to think, is there another one? Yeah, no, I feel like those are it's more so my glitches in the Matrix. I have always put it on God.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, well, that was the Lord.
That's me. Like anytime I fasted or done anything, and like the first vehicle I bought you, I fasted and I prayed for the color, the type, the interior, everything with the Kia Sorrento.
Mm-hmm, I know what
that's what I ended up getting. Expedition, same thing.
It's also the
my Navigator. You know, I said that for I don't know, probably like 3-4 now about 6 months. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get me a Navigator.
When I booked that rail show, this is prior to being let go of. Soon as I read it, I was like, oh, this is mine. I was on the phone with Marquita. She was like, okay. She's like, I hear you. I said, no, for real. I'm going to be booked for this. So when they had passed me up at first, I said, no, something's wrong. I was like, this doesn't seem right. So then when they came back to me and booked me, I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm like, now how come I didn't see that I was going to lose the job so quickly at the same time? That's all right. I got their money though. But even the same thing with, I've told Kevin this multiple times working with him. And it's not one of those things where it's like, you know, a lot of people, Denzel Washington has probably heard multiple times, I'm going to work. The Lord told me I'm going to work with you one day. But no, the first time I met the Playmakers, I said, I'm going to work with one of them. I just don't know who it is. I was like, it's going to be one of them. I didn't know if it was going to be Kev, Jason, or Ann. And I didn't even know their names. I knew them as the Playmakers. Is one Playmaker 1, 2, and 3. I didn't even know, but I was like, one day I'm going to end up working with one of them. I just don't know who the hell it is. And that sure enough happened. So I just be putting it on God. But I noticed that when I speak things with a surety, it's like I have programmed the Matrix to open the door that I just created. Yeah,
I've done it pretty much with every vehicle I've ever owned, and any like promotion job. And like right now, what I'm working on, that's why it was so confusing, like with my whole trademark thing. And it didn't, I'm like, that's weird. Because I've already seen this. But I'm like, all right, I visualized the wrong thing. But I know for a fact this is going to come to pass. And
right,
I was ready for it. But yeah, I always chalk it up to God, never like a glitch.
In the Matrix. Yeah. I got it. You keep talking.
Really quick. I'm done talking.
Boom. You see, your wife is good. Boom. I know your codes. I remember somebody said in the video that we recently did that has performed quite well, where it's the signs of my being angry at you with the turn your lips up. Somebody was like, you left the phones, Marcus. Red alert, red alert. I can get into all of his phones.
Yeah, ain't no concern.
I can get into them.
Well, I got 2, so she can get in those 2. The third one, she will never know about.
I get into every single last one of them quickly. What am I going to find? Pictures of me that I didn't know he took. I'll be like, whose butt is this?
You find it in this one.
Whose butt is that?
Oh, you saying the pictures of other people. I'm like, I got plenty of pictures of you that you don't know I took.
No, that's going to be, and then you're going to be like, that's you. And I'll be like, oh, that is, I see my tattoo. Yeah. All right. So, guys, oh my gosh, if y'all could see how much we are sweating. We were also supposed to do Tank Our Advice this episode, but we're going to go ahead and cut this episode right here because I am melting like a dollop of ice cream in this room. Hopefully this will be the last time we have to shoot on a
That's how hot it is in here.
I'm like, we will go back to shooting in our house with all this.
Doing it on Sundays.
I know, but it's my crazy schedule. That's the reason why. Saturdays we could do it, huh?
Yeah.
We should have did Amar's birthday today. That would have worked. Oh, we over here sweating so bad. So we're going to go ahead and conclude right now. We will be back next week with some fun stuff. We'll actually move the Tank Our Advice to next week so that, because I do enjoy that segment a lot. So I'm sorry we didn't do it this time because it is one of my favorite segments. So tell them where they can find you, baby.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Marcus on the Gram. Y'all can find me on Facebook, Marcus on the Book. You can find me on my other podcast called Let Us Tell It on Tanksley TV. I'm over with Greg Gooseby. You can find me over there. You can find me on TikTok at Tank Don't Talk. You can find Man Shit. That's my beard and body butter at manShyt.com. Manshit.com.
You can find me on an airplane. No, you can also find me at That Chick Angel across all platforms except for Twitter, which is Angel the Actress. On YouTube and TikTok, just add that TV to it, That Chick Angel TV. You can find me on my other podcast, Here's the Thing, as well as me and Marcus do a podcast with the Fredericks called The Bald and Beautiful that is returning. It's already back.
It's back by the time y'all see this.
Check it out. Check us out there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's nothing else I need to tell y'all other than make sure you support our sponsors. We got that Helix, we got that BetterHelp, Rothy's, and Ritual. Use our promo codes. Let them people know that we sent you over there.
Let them know.
And without further ado, we wish you farewell.
Y'all have a good one, fam. See y'all next week.
Bye.